that that's too hard, and you start backing it up, because that fear and that anxiety can absolutely take over.
Yeah. Life experience outweighs anything. Even though we all say we should have done it sooner, sometimes the timing is because of our wisdom and our life experience.
Yeah. I am someone that will sit there and write out my goals for the year, and I will have 100 goals. Maybe I achieve them, maybe I don't. But I never actually stopped to work out what the feeling was that I wanted in my day-to-day life.
Slide into DMs, that definitely is out of my comfort zone.
Yeah,
so
but
I
you have
leave
to do it.
you.
Yeah.
But we need to do it. But Rach
someone
needs to
has
do it for us.
Yeah, someone has to do it.
What is your biggest regret when you're going through these stages?
Okay, you've made your goal. You know where you want to be going.
You've assessed your time and got some time back.
Yeah, because we used our great tool. But now what?
All right, so let's talk through those steps and how to get it all kicked off.
Yeah, so that first step is probably going to be the most daunting, and it's going to be different for everyone because we do all have different goals. So I think it's really important we break it down.
So what do you already know? You want to think about even us as an example. So this podcast.
Yeah.
We knew we wanted one. That was first step. That was a tick. And then we knew a course being run by someone that we really liked. And we knew that it would take time and money.
Yeah. And I think that's honestly when we walked into it, that's really all we knew. I don't think we knew our niche just because it was the same as our retreat stuff. But I don't think we even had our complete where we were going with this podcast. We had ideas, and I guess, and that's why we needed to go do a course and work with someone, because we didn't have those answers. And so I guess that's why it's so important to actually evaluate, first of all, what do you know?
And I suppose it was what do we want to get out of it, which was another part of it.
And I guess that will be different for everyone, but I still think that's probably also something important to ask yourself, like whether it's that career change, whether it's starting a podcast, whatever it is, what are you actually trying to achieve out of this?
Yeah. And then I suppose the next step is what do you need to know about what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
So for us, we needed time to research our niche, research whether we needed to do a course or not, how much it was going to cost, so that thing. And then the biggest one for us was time. So how much time is it going to take to do this?
Because now that we know how much our time's going, we knew we only had 2 to 3 hours up our sleeves. No, not necessarily. No. But it's so true. So you do need to work out those things to work out, I think, if you have the capacity for that goal. And if you don't, what do you need to change to do that? So it could be that studying part. It could be like doing the course. It could be actually physically coming and doing the work, those kind of things. Like, what is that going to take? And the only way you're going to work that out is research.
Yeah, definitely worth doing our assessment tool on time, which really does highlight where you can get those hours back to do those passion projects or to reach your goal.
Yeah, but also the cost, because at the end of the day, you might then have to put that on pause for a minute because you need to go earn some money for whatever that is, or work out the family budget or whatever it is. But if you don't know how much these things are going to cost, you can't take the next step.
You don't want to get halfway through a project and not be able to do it. Yeah. And then have to quit.
Yeah. So I think what's that saying about prepare? Something about if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. So I think it's that research side of things. If you don't do that, I think you are just setting yourself up to fail there.
Yeah. And I suppose the next step was who do you need to know? So that old saying of it's not what you know, it's who you know.
100%.
However, it is what you know a little bit too.
Yeah. Maybe it's no, because you know what you know now. So now you need to know who.
Yeah, exactly.
So now you got to get out there and meet the right people and put yourself in those positions of meeting the right people and taking them.
And it can be uncomfortable sometimes putting yourself out there. And like you say, slide into DMs. That definitely is out of my comfort zone.
Yeah,
so
but you have to do it.
Yeah. But we need to do it. But Rachel needs to do it for us.
Yeah, someone has to do it.
The right support, so having the network of people that understand your niche, that want to be part of your journey as well.
Yeah.
So I find that the courses we've done, the people that we've met during this process, has been a big game changer for us as well.
I don't think we would be here without that course, but B, the people that it introduced us to, and knowing what to do next and finding those right people.
Yeah,
this would not be happening.
Yeah.
And I think that could be said for a lot of people. Like, I think if you don't have the right people around you, do you know what, even if you're doing like a university course or something or a job, how much is it that the people around you really dictate the experience that you have? You could be in a job and you could have an awful team with you, and so you quit. Even though the job is amazing, it becomes about the people. The same as if you're doing a course. If you have like a teacher who's terrible, you're not going to follow through. You're not going to finish it, are you? So having those right people in everywhere.
It's almost like like-minded people. And I suppose I even bring this back to my kids with school. Surround yourself with good people. You are like the nearest 5 people around you.
It's
so
true,
they
yeah.
say.
Like you're
I
the
don't know who
average of
they
the.
is, though.
Yeah, I don't know who they are either. I think it's the same people that make the other saying about like failing to prepare.
Yeah.
They're all the same
Who
people,
are they?
aren't they? Yeah, but it's true. You are the average of the closest people around you. So it's really important that you do look around.
Find the network.
Yeah,
sometimes
find
it's not
your
just
people.
there.
And you might have to go hunting for it. And
Yeah.
I guess depending on what it is, if you're trying to start a business or if you are starting a podcast or whatever it is, finding the people that will help you grow. And so you might actually have to go hunting for those people as well.
Even being part of a women's business
group.
network is pretty cool too.
Yeah, it really does connect you.
You might not be in the same industry, but you might have similar goals.
Yeah, and I think they also just get that you're striving for something, so prop you up that little bit more than you even realise. Maybe that's our number one tip. Go find yourself like a support group.
A support group, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it does make a big difference, so having those people around you that understand. Okay, quick pause, because if you've been feeling like you need a reset or a night away, this is for you.
We've just released something really special, our Yarra Valley Retreat one-night escape designed to help you switch off, move your body and feel like yourself again.
Think Pilates, bar, boxing, pickleball, which honestly I'm really excited for, wine tasting because we are in the Yarra Valley, plus a practical nutrition session with me. There's even the chance to have a nutrition one-on-one appointment with me.
And I'll be running a journaling session to help you get clear on what you actually want and maybe resetting your direction.
You'll wake up at the beautiful Balgownie Estate to the most delicious breakfast. After our morning Pilates workout, that is.
It's one night, but designed to feel like you've been away for a week. Short, but exactly what busy women need.
Spots are limited, so head to thepilatesretreatclub.com.au to book your place. We would absolutely love to see you there.
I think the biggest part, which is the next one, is the next steps that you take. So for us, we enrolled in the course, we did that. The recording session was probably the biggest next step. That was daunting. Yeah, it was scary. I was like, oh, when is it?
But you've also got to then put your money where your mouth is. You've got to pay for these things, whether or not a recording session or opening the business or whatever it is. Even for you, like when you changed careers and you took a pay cut, like that's actually backing yourself financially and putting the money into it. So that's a scary step.
Yeah, for sure. Even things like booking in the photo shoot and the meetings with the right people, again, they seem like basic things, making a booking, but actually doing it, like bringing it to life.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes you might write it on your list to do, but actually doing it is just another level.
But I suppose all the time, so we definitely spent more time planning. The pre-planning sort of phase, and then this is just like actually doing it. So if you're getting to this point, you're basically there. So rip the Band-Aid off and do it. Yeah.
And I think you can spend so much time planning. And I guess the difference between people that are successful, so to speak, or whatever, is they don't just plan, they do. Yeah, and I think a lot of people probably stop at 3 or even 2.
Yeah.
Like step 2.
Yep.
Like, I've done the research, I've done this, I've done the planning, I've done the preparation. Cool. Or they may have even gone and networked with people. They might have found the right people. They may have had those conversations. But that last step is going to be the hardest because this is where you're actually actioning the things.
Got to step 2 and 3 in many things in the past 10 years and stopped.
It's easy to do those steps because they're real, but they're not really real.
You haven't paid for anything. It's been time. You've spent time, which is valuable.
Yeah, absolutely.
But people discount that side of it too.
I think so.
But yeah, and it's just being courageous, I guess.
And it's also, I guess, now you're putting it out there into the universe. Like where before it was in a spreadsheet or it was in a journal or it was wherever. Now you're physically doing it. It's just different, isn't it?
It's a flood of emotions as well, though.
Yeah.
Again, I know keep going back to feelings, but it's a flood of emotions and they're not all positive. Like there's that sort of, how there's like anxiety, but it's good anxiety. There's that sort of excitement, anxiety.
Adrenaline like anxiety. Yeah.
But then there's that fear of judgment as well. And then it's excitement of, what am I going to wear? What am I going to,
That's stressful for you.
That is stressful for me.
Yeah, that's stressful for you. That's most of your anxiety. I think that stops a lot of people because that emotion starts to come as hit the go button on things or... you might have, for example, if you're starting a little side business or something like that, you may have created the email, you may have created the Instagram account, those kind of things. But then when you actually have to come to sending that on to people like, hey, can you follow my page? This is what I'm doing. You're like, nah, that's too hard. And you start backing it up because that fear and that anxiety can absolutely take over.
Yeah, it creeps in and it creeps in pretty quickly.
Absolutely, it does.
So now that we've covered what you want to be when you grow up, we've worked out your time and your next steps.
We've basically ticked all of your boxes. You know exactly where you're going in life.
So we normally love giving a big tip here. But before that, what is your biggest regret when you're going through these stages?
It's a good question, isn't it? I think it's probably not doing it sooner. I regret not sitting down and working out my ideal day or my ideal feeling or what I wanted my life to feel like, whatever that actually looks like in that example for you. I regret not doing that sooner and actually thinking deeply about those things, because I am someone that will sit there and write out my goals for the year, and I will have 100 goals, sure. And maybe I achieve them, maybe I don't. But I never actually stopped to work out what the feeling was that I wanted in my day-to-day life. And so even though I might achieve those goals, it didn't necessarily mean I was like happy or that I was feeling, it's probably bigger. I wasn't feeling fulfilled. And so I think actually stopping and doing that was my game changer. And I really regret not doing that sooner.
Yeah. And I actually relate a lot to your answer. So definitely not doing things sooner. But on the flip side of that, just what I mentioned earlier is it isn't too late to do things at any age. I definitely feared judgment and I lacked confidence. And I suppose that was just because I was making such a drastic change.
Yeah.
I feel like timing, though, is a big part of what you're doing. And sometimes the timing isn't right.
Well, maybe you're not ready for it.
It might have been me not being ready, or it might have been the position my family was in. It could have been anything. But sometimes timing has to be right. As much as I'm a jump in head first, sometimes, you've got to gauge the timing just a little.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's probably one of the biggest lessons. I don't know if I'd call it a regret, but it's definitely one of the biggest lessons I've learned in the last 5 to 10 years is that maybe it's not, jumping, take the risk, yes, but make it a calculated risk so that the timing is right. Don't just jump in because you think it's a good idea without actually assessing everything.
All the assessment stuff has to happen for sure.
Yeah, I think otherwise you might jump into something that's actually not for you.
Like you said, the feeling, the passion, as long as you've got that sort of backing it, I think you're
and at the end of the
go.
day, if you do what I do, if you do jump into something and it's not right for you, that can change.
There's nothing
you can make another lane change. Yeah, you can just keep on changing lanes.
Yep.
You can just cross that highway the whole way across if you want.
Yeah.
Do a U-turn. There's so many things you can do. So look, I'm not saying don't take the risk and don't take the opportunity. Sometimes jumping in feet first is a great idea, but for me, what I really do wish is that maybe I hadn't done that so much and that I spent more time calculating these things and working out those side of things to actually work out if it was for me, instead of just jumping in and worrying about it later and then being like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now.
I sometimes feel like age is our friend. So I know that we're always talking about age. You just took the words out of my mouth. I honestly believe it does.
Yeah.
Life experience outweighs anything. And I feel like even though we all say we should have done it sooner, sometimes the timing is because of our wisdom and our life experience. And I feel like that's what got me where I am today. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Yes,
I did all those steps,
yep.
but I wouldn't have done all those steps if I was younger. I would have went, I'm going to skip that one. I'm just going to go straight into it.
I think as well, when you are young, you sometimes think you do know it all.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like that in a bad way, but I know when I was 21, I thought I knew everything. I think I thought I knew where my life was going, and I thought I knew that trajectory and all that stuff, and I was so wrong.
Yeah.
Like I really did. It was completely different to what I thought it was going to be, but it also worked out so much better maybe than what I thought, and I would never change any of that.
Yeah, so it's funny how we say we would have jumped in sooner, but we're right where we need to be.
Yeah, it's true.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
I feel like all the steps work.
Yeah, it's true. One, and I guess, I know we're not talking tips, we're talking regrets, but the biggest tip I think I could give is to do that time assessment tool. Like I think that is the biggest game changer that you can do when you're trying to work out what you're doing, because I think sometimes, and again, maybe this is just me, I will set goals and maybe sometimes they're a little bit unrealistic and a little bit out of my reach, but I do like to shoot high. But when I've set a goal recently, maybe it's because I'm getting older and wiser, I will actually be like, okay, how much time does that goal actually need of me each week? And then when I've looked at it, I'm like, oh my God, I don't actually physically have this time that this goal requires. So what do I actually need to change? Or is this goal actually not for me because what I've got here is actually great? Are you going to get
to step 2 only and then back out, and then you've wasted time?
So it's having that time, I think that part is so crucial, because sometimes you'll realize that goal isn't for you. Maybe it takes you to somewhere else. You're like, why do I want this goal? Is it actually not that? Or is there something else in my week that is not for me that I need to actually swap out.
So from this, our time tool is going to be the main thing that we always come back to. And I feel like it'll be used throughout your whole life. You will change lanes and you will change direction. And I think that we'll always come back to that.
100%. I think that is the biggest takeaway that we can give you.